Hello, good morning. Welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 85. It is October 22nd, 2014, and I'm here with my co-host Alice. It's a very rainy, yucky morning, and it is post-Rhinebeck. So I have a post-Rhinebeck episode for the very first time, and it's exciting. Fix my pillows. Let's see. Got back on Sunday. It's Wednesday. And man, that Rhinebeck hangover is no joke, okay? It is... I'm still tired. I think for me, at least, it's the travel as well as the festival. But I had a lovely time, and I want to show you everything. So let's start. I have an FO, whips, spinning, and acquisitions this week. So let's dive right in. You can find the podcast, iTunes, Hipcast, the blog at fibertown.blogspot.com. You can find it's fiber with an R-E everywhere. I'm Fibertown on Instagram, and I am, Chain of Fools on Ravelry. So thank you for your comments last week. I have fallen off of the show notes wagon lately. I'm not saying I'll never get back on it, but if you have any questions, I will get back to you. Sorry, I just washed my hair. I can't do a thing with it. I will get back to you with any information you might want about something I've talked about. Don't hesitate to drop me a line. I love hearing from you. So it is scrap season still, and I will show you what I've been doing scrap-wise, and you are showing me what you've been doing scrap-wise on the Rav group in the scrap thread. That's going till the end of November. Prizes will be awarded. Speaking of prizes, if you haven't knit a washcloth yet for the Hudson Valley Knits podcast Senior Love Along, go and check it out. She is personally handing out washcloths, handmade washcloths, to the residents of the VA hospital, so men mostly, in New York where she lives, and she is giving away prizes for that, and it's a great cause. It's easy to knit a washcloth in a neutral or manly color. So go check her out, Memers Hudson Valley Knits podcast. Let's see, what else? Oh, another podcast that's doing something fun right now is the Carolina Fiber Girls. They're doing Socktober. They have a lot of coupon codes and knit-alongs, and so go check them out as well. They have some prizes too. Let's see, Kung Fu Knits. If you haven't entered to win a copy, you have one more week. So go ahead and take a look at the thread in the Fibertown Ravelry group. It is a fabulous book, and I know somebody out there is going to really love it. So go ahead. You have one more week to enter for that, and then we'll draw next week for the winner. And I want to say thank you to Uzanse, who sent me the Whispering Pines shawl by Molly of a Homespun House. I love this design. I'm going to have to find a special skein for the knitting of it. So thank you so much. Okay, my FO this week is a barn raising square. Ends are not yet woven in, but that's okay. Take a look. This is knit out of Gourmet Stash hand spun that I spun on my Tibetan spindle. Yes, this is Van Gogh's paint box. Isn't it gorgeous? This is just one of her, I think, most famous colorways, one of her earlier ones, and just beautiful. It has dark turquoise and this subtle blue and chartreuse and olive green, tiny hints of browns. It's beautiful. And I have enough left to put in my other scrap blanket, but it's 1 ounce worth of fiber. I Navajo plied it, and it's just, I want something where I can have this colorway forever. So I think having it in a blanket is a great choice. It's the Gourmet Stash. So that is all done. Now I have 4 barn raising squares. I think the minimum is like 42, so yeah. What else do I have? That's it for FOs. Let's do whips. I've been knitting on the Ginny's cardigan, which is out of the Harry Potter Knits, the unofficial Harry Potter Knits. This was from Interweave Special Issue 2013. It's the cover sweater. Yeah, I don't have to show you the pattern. It's got a very plain front just with a button band and two little mostly decorative pockets, and I'm thinking of doing owl cables on the pockets. I also, that's what the front looks like. I also think that this might be the first sweater that I do a grosgrain ribbon reinforced button band. Yeah, fancy, fancy. So this is I'm gonna have to find some great buttons for it too. This is for my daughter. Her birthday is coming up in less than a month. And so the way this sweater is knit, it's done bottom up, and then the sleeves are knit separately and joined in the round. So it's like a bottom up yoke sweater, but I've never done this with a cardigan, just a pullover in the round. So I've done the main part of the body. I just finished it last night. It's a fast knit. I'm using Classic Elite Princess yarns. Do I have the no? It's a really cool mix of fibers. It's got just a hint of Angora, merino, cashmere, and then like 2 synthetic fibers in there. It's got an amazing hand. So yeah, I'm about to cast on the sleeves. It's got the owl eyes looking at you. I'm about to cast on the sleeves and get those knit, then I can join them, do the yoke, button band, pockets, reinforcements, buttons, and I'm done. I think I'm going to cast on the sleeve. I'm going into the city today. I think I'll do that on my public transport. Okay, what else do I have? I have a hoe. You saw I was knitting these arm warmers, which are striped between a Zauberball, and then a Noro Curion sock, which they're both singles. Pretty sure this one is. Okay, it came out amazing. It came out amazing. I love it, I love it, I love it. So I did a lot of, cutting the yarn, managing the yarn. Let me show the best side of this. Look at that. It needs blocking, and there are parts where the Noro gets thick and thin, and in here it definitely did that. It made this kind of warpy thing here, even though I did decrease. When you run into those thick sections of the Noro, I should have pulled those out. So I did this just very, very simply, just a long tube, and I didn't have a formula for how many rows per stripe. Started with the black in the Zauberball, and then it's going into the grays, and then it's going to the light grays, and then it's into the whites. And you can see the Curion is here. So I did nothing fancy with any kind of gusseting or thumb hole, nothing. I just decided to leave it like this. So I need another one. That will be cast on soon as well. So I love the feel of the Noro and the Zauberball. It's like, you know me, I like superwash wools, but I don't love superwash wools. I really like the real wool. Speaking of real wool, my cupcake mitts haven't been touched. My out of Jameson Spindrift, nothing's happening there. I've just been busy knitting that arm warmer and the Ginny sweater and the sock yarn blanket. Let me show you what I have on that. Now, I was thinking I would make this long, really long, like add 5 more squares to the width of it. And then I said, well, most of this is superwash. Not all of it, but most of it is superwash. Oh, hi, Al. And it's going to stretch, so I decided to wash it. I decided to wash what I have so far, and yes, it's plenty, plenty, plenty big. So it's a queen size coverlet. It's queen size coverlet length at this point, or width, I should say. I have been gifted, and I will show you soon, lots of amazing scraps. So let me show you what I did. This was my Rhinebeck, on the way to Rhinebeck square. This is the last one on the width, and I'm going to start doing the I-cord where the provisional cast on is. Then I did this one. This was a scrap. My friend Leanne, who is Yowza Stash Queen on Instagram and Espresso Knitter on Ravelry, gifted me some scraps for my birthday. So I have this one. I think this is that Miss Babs or Dragonfly or Neighborhood? It's one of those. Beautiful purples. So 1, 2, this was from Leanne too. I think that's a Miss Babs. What else? What else? What else? This one I was knitting on last week on the podcast. That's a String Theory colorway. This one is also from Leanne. I think it's Miss Babs. It might be one of her zombie colorways. And is that it? Oh, I didn't do a lot this week. Again, that was like 5 squares, wasn't it? So now we just go up, 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 up. There's nowhere to go but up. So I just love this blanket. It feels great now that it's been washed as well. So what else do we have? Okay. At Rhinebeck. Alice is sleeping on it right now, but I'll have to. Okay, at Rhinebeck, one of the sweaters I saw in abundance was the worsted boxy and the regular boxy, which is at a fingering weight. And they were great. They were so much better than mine, and I think the reason is because they were much longer. So I do have some scraps. I maybe have 2.5 ounces left of the Malabrigo Rios, and I am going to take the bind off out. Sorry, Al. It was her pillow. Oh, it's all warm from the owl. Here, rest your head on this pillow. There you go. So I'm taking this bind out off and adding all the length I possibly can. So that's going back on the whips list. All right, that's it for whips. Spinning. I have another 140 yards of my mixed Jacob, which is coming out like a marl. This was from my hand-dizzed roving off of my drum carder. And so I've got about 280, 300 yards of this one. And I have so much more of this to spin. So it's 2 ounces, 140 yards, 2-ply. Now this is something I spun ages ago. It's from a Wild Hare bat, Wild Hare Hare. It's a fiber dyer out of Front Royal, Virginia, which is where the Penhook and Needles ladies live. And she does a lot of amazing yarns that are neon and beautiful. Anyway, this was a bat that I spun a few years ago, and I left as a single. I decided to Navajo ply it, just out of the blue. And I have about 120 yards of a Navajo or a chain ply, 3-ply. What else? That's it for spinning. I mean, I did some spindling at Rhinebeck. I did Smaug's diamond waistcoat and a little bit of my waterweed, yak silk. Man, that yak silk, I think I'm going to be spinning it for 100 years. It's so fine. It's 2 ounces. It just goes on forever. If you want bang for your buck, spin some of that from Gourmet Stash, because it just never seems to get, the pile of unspun fiber never seems to diminish. It's really interesting. But that's still going on too. But it hasn't changed. The quantity of it hasn't really changed. So, oh, wait a minute. This was the Jacob I spun this week. This was the one I spun a few weeks ago. You didn't need to know that. They look exactly the same. All right, let's talk about Rhinebeck and Acquisitions, shall we? Yes, we shall. So, I never get swag at festivals, but I had to have this. It's like a Rolling Stones cover. Look at that. T-shirt. T-shirt. The police find the stash. So, very excellent swag at Rhinebeck. I also got a project bag with the same, but colorful. And I have something in here I'll share with you in a bit. In one of the buildings, I just, from across the crowded room, Sarah Pomegranate found me spinning on a Merlin tree road bug, trying to spin on it. Man, I don't think that wheel is for me. I I know people who have it and love it. I couldn't make it work. So it was awesome to see her. She gave me these lovely Scully stitch markers. I got an orange and a purple, some of my favorites. And we got to hang out and walk around Rhinebeck, and she bought a shawl pin, and we looked at some llamas. We saw the nun with the cashmere goat. I got to meet her cousin, who is one of the proprietors of Spinner's Hill. Super sweet, lovely. I was so thrilled to get to see Sarah and hang with her a bit. So, why is the lighting doing that? That is bizarre. I thought it was when I moved, but do you all see the lighting flashing? It's not doing it now. Maybe it's my eyes. Okay, anyway, I apologize if that's happening and it's distracting you, because it's distracting me. What else? Well, I got more stitch markers. I got some from the lovely Seashore Sharon. You can't see there's a pumpkin one in there. I love these kind of stitch markers. There's the pumpkin. There we go. And I met her friend, Julie. Is it Julie? I met a lot of people. I think it was Julie. She has a podcast. I think it's fairly new. She has these stitch markers as well. Come on, stitch markers. There we go. And it's called Franklin Fiber. And that's at wordpress.com. Very cute. I need to check that one out. They came up together to the festival, and they were very cute. Very, very cute. Let's see. What else did I get? I got some Into the World odds and ends. I'd never gotten some of those before. Aren't they fun? I love the hobbledehoy little batlings that you can get like this. And this is just a lot of different colorways and fiber blends. Lovely. So I picked that up. Didn't get a lot, and that was just fine. Let's see. I did pick up some yarn, which I almost never get at fiber festivals. This is Bartlett Yarns. It is a cone of 1,750 yards of mountain laurel. And when I ran into Sarah Pomegranate, guess what she had also bought? The same exact colorway of the same exact yarn. Great minds think alike. So this will be some sort of lovely woolen spun sweater. $40 for a sweater. I think it's a sport weight. Yeah. Is it a 2-ply? Looks like it. So, lost my train of thought. Darn it. Alice. Let's distract Alice. Alice, do you remember what I was thinking about? Alice. Al. Squirrel. There we go. She's like, oh, you're so immature. Let me sleep. Okay, well, let's see. What else did I get? I got a fleece. Yes, I did. There were 3 fleeces that I particularly liked. One was a BFL. It was a little pricey. One was a Gotland lamb fleece. First shearing. Oh my goodness. It was beautiful. It was 3 pounds. And it was outrageously priced. At $195 for 3 pounds. For a split second, I considered it. Like, if that was the only thing. Because that was the first place I went at the festival. If that was going to be the only thing I bought, I would still be over budget. So, no. 3 pounds? No. No. And then I found the winner. It's not a gray fleece, which I kind of wanted, and the Gotland fit that bill. But this is, I'll show you. Oh, it smells like a sheep barn. This is a Corriedale Rambouillet cross. It is 6 pounds 5 ounces. I don't know the shepherd. They didn't put a card in here, which is kind of a bummer. But it got all 5s in its judging for uniformity, density, handle, crimp, length, and weight. Got a blue dot. Got 5s on everything. So let me show you a bit of this. Oh, I do know the name of the sheep, though. Is it Olga? Let's see. Opal. Opal. Look at the lanolin grease stains in that. That's Opal. So Opal has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chocolate brown, medium length staple. Now we are gonna have to look at that closely. It doesn't show up very well in this terrible rainy day light. Ooh, that was a little bit better. You get a little idea. So let's measure Opal's fleece, Opal's staple length with my handy dandy ruler on my phone. Let's see. It looks to me like it's about 3 inches. 3.5 inches. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. The tips are in great shape. Sometimes tips tend to break off or be sun damaged or just caked with mud. This one is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Those are the tips. They're a little lighter in color, so they do have some sun, exposure to them. And then the cut end is here. And I'm going to enjoy this fleece. Yes, I am. So as soon as this stupid weather clears up, I will start washing with just Blue Dawn. That's what I like to use. And it seems like a fairly clean fleece, not too greasy. My first fleece, which was a big fail, although, failure is what it is. It's a learning experience. And I welcome it. I welcome failure. My first one was a brown Rambouillet cross. So it's like I'm getting a second chance here. Corriedale Rambouillet cross. It's going to be awesome. Really don't have room for another fleece. I don't know where it's going to go. I need to finish that Jacob so I can put this in the Jacob spot, because yarn takes up a lot less space than unspun fiber, and unwashed fleece takes up a lot more space than regular fiber. So I need to get cracking. But that is it, I think, for my acquisitions at Rhinebeck. Pickle juice. It was a lovely festival. It was, and I can't help but compare it to Maryland Sheep and Wool. And what I think Rhinebeck has going for it that Maryland does not is, number one, the time of year. It's New York in October, and the leaves are beautiful. The fairgrounds are prettier than the Howard County Fairgrounds at Maryland. To me, it feels like there are a lot of hidden secret spots at Rhinebeck that you probably have to go to the festival year after year to really find out about. Just like I feel like I left a lot of it undiscovered, if that makes sense. It's also much more food oriented and really excellent food. For example, a large part of my budget was spent on food. And let's see, I had falafel and an apple cider donut for breakfast one day. And the falafel was amazing. The donut was amazing. I had apple crisp. I got to eat apple crisp with Julesy And Seashore Sharon, that was delicious with some vanilla ice cream. Maple syrup cotton candy. What else? I had a kielbasa one day, although the Maryland one was better. Ethnic sausage. What else? I didn't have artichokes French. I have had that at Maryland. And also there was beer and wine at Rhinebeck. There was a whole building devoted to foods as well, and New York produced foods. They have that to an extent at Maryland, but they have cheese and lamb, basically. Rhinebeck had a lot more food, and good food. What else? Although there are knitting celebrities at Maryland, there are more, I believe, at Rhinebeck. I did not see the Yarn Harlot. I think she was there. Let's see. Lauren Elkin, Stephanie Japel, Olga Jazzy. Oh gosh, I'm going to miss a bunch. Oh, come on. Who else? Lots of knitting celebrities. But truly, yes, they are knitting celebrities. And lots of people, and it was sort of a see and be seen in your knitwear kind of thing. And maybe that was the New York flavor of it, and the weather, and you could wear your knitwear. I wore my Bare Branches one day, and I wore my Shield Maiden, and I wore my MPG, and I wore my Hallett Sledge, which got a lot of compliments. That green is the Dream in Color Happy Forest is just, it's an attention-getting colorway. So that was it was really lovely. I got to spend time with friends. I got to meet some new friends. I got to make real friends out of internet friends at Hey Magnolia. And so many other people. I know I'm going to forget to mention some of them, but super fun. That said, Maryland is still my festival. And I think it has to do with the level of anticipation that I get with Maryland. For me, I get around February, I order the catalog. And about a month later, I start planning my plan of attack. And there's the saving up the money aspect, and then the huge buying blowout aspect. I mean, that's where I buy most of my fiber for the year. So, and generally the weather is lovely and you can sit outside, and there's the relaxing kind of aspect. I don't, just sit in my chair and watch people. And Rhinebeck is good for that too, but I think each festival has something to offer that is different from the other. And there were aspects that were very similar. A lot of the same vendors, although, different local New York vendors at Rhinebeck as well. I was there both days, and I feel like there was so much more to discover in Rhinebeck. And again, that's sort of like the hidden gems nature of that particular festival. I feel like the fairgrounds were more compact, and there was as much stuff, but Maryland's more spread out. Also, Maryland is much more agricultural. It's the sheep and wool. That's true of the Maryland Festival. There's farmers, lots of farm equipment. Probably 2 or 3 times the amount of sheep breeds are represented at Maryland. At least it seemed that way to me. One other thing. I love Reflections at Rocklands. Kate Bostek raises amazing cormos and rambouillets. And she consistently wins first and second place in her category at Rhinebeck, and in the fine wools category. And the lady in front of me in the fleece sale line had one of her cormo fleeces, and it was the blue ribbon, and it was amazing. I got to see it unprocessed, up close. Oh my gosh, like angel wings, a big bag of angel wings. That's what that cormo fleece is like. And it made me want to cast on my cormo hand spun from Reflections at Rocklands by Kate Bostek. So I love making connections like that. What else do I need to show you? Oh, okay. So when I got home, Sunday was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I got home probably at 9 because of insane traffic in New York State. And I've had a package waiting for me. And it said, from Fiber Trek to Fiber Town. And Knit Spot apparently has these cards with family pictures, her family pictures of people wearing knitwear. Look at that baby, that adored baby. So Knit Spot. And Sarah Swensty, she's the lady who is organizing Highlands on the Fly retreat. She has the Fiber Trek podcast and Fiber Trek show. She is amazing. She does textiles and time. She's a shepherdess. I love her. She sent me a box of the most special and amazing scraps. So I would like to share them with you. And these are for my scrap efforts. This is Nash Island. She labeled them all beautifully. Nash Island, Starcraft Fiber, Maine. She did a Fiber Trek episode on this particular mill and sheep raising business. Beautiful, so nice. I think Nash Island is the breed. Oh, that smells good. It has a little patchouli to it. Let's see. Imperial Yarn from Columbia, Oregon. Let's see, what else here? Tidal Yarns, Connecticut. Plant dyed. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I wonder what did that blue. Not indigo. Is it lichens? Or woad? Okay, what else? I have this all. Oh. She was talking about this on her latest podcast, and she knit her capelet out of it. What was that called? It was a capelet by Romy Hill. Can't remember the name. So this is Mithril, which is from the Stansborough Grey sheep breed, which is from New Zealand. And all of the woolens in The Lord of the Rings were made out of this particular sheep breed. So super special. Let's see. Peace Fleece with her little Fiber Trek button. Unknown. Maine Montedale Lamb's Quarters Farm from Seebeck. Lots of Maine yarns. Nice pretty yarn. So Madeline Tosh, this will become a barn raising. What is this? 13 Mile Lamb's Wool, also plant dyed. It's from Montana. Beautiful blue. Some Maine Romney. This is so soft. I love Sarah's Taste in Yarn. Unknown Yard from Newfoundland. She weighed everything. That's a pretty color. 2-ply. St. Magnus DK 50/50 wool Angora. From where? From Orkney. That is one of my fiber destinations. And, ooh, 2 different colors here. A gray and a green. I want to go to. I want to go for the whiskey and the wool. I'm sure there are tours out there where you can do that. And if I were a rich girl, I'd be doing that right now. North Ronaldsy from Orkney. Oh, she knit her Shield Maiden out of this yarn. She has a beautiful Shield Maiden. I wore mine with my penannular brooch from Tuatha. It's awesome. Sarah's Homespun from Maine Icelandic Galena. I wonder if this is her flock. This is beautiful. Soft, beautiful. I love it. Okay, we got some more Mad Tosh. That will go in my sock yarn blanket. What else? Snaewan's Island Wool Co. from the Faroese Falkland from the UK. 2 more. I love this one. This is Gaspereau Valley Fiber Cotswold from Nova Scotia. Look at that beautiful green. Ooh, it's a single. And last but certainly not least, we have Maine Twist CVM California Variegated Mutant and Alpaca from New Wayne Fiber Mill. Beautiful. My cup runneth over. Hey Alice, come and say goodbye. So Rhinebeck. Lovely. Come here, you. Today, and you know, the fibery goodness is not over. No, no, no. Today I'm going to meet Kimberly Knits. Oh gosh, what is her Ravelry handle? Her name is Kimberly. We are meeting at Looped in DC today, and tomorrow I'm meeting Elizabeth, another friend, at Fiberspace to use my birthday discount. And they have bare naked wools from Ann Hansen that have just come in. So I'm extra excited to see those. So in your birthday month, Fiberspace gives you a 10% discount. And if you go to Looped on your birthday, you get a 20% discount. I was in Rhinebeck, so, you know, it was a trade-off. Oh my, look at this sleepy girl. Usually so energetic. Alice, are you going to stay inside all day because it's raining? Am I going to have to push you out the door? She hates the rain. She braved it this morning to do her stuff. And now she's like, I'm going to snuggle down and sleep on your worsted boxy all day long. Oh, yes. So I hope you guys are well, enjoying your loved ones and your fibery pursuits. And I will see you next week. So you all take care.